My dear students, I hope you are all well by the grace of Almighty Allah. My prayer for your good health and peaceful life for your personal life, peaceful life for your family life, peaceful life for your social life, peaceful life for your environmental life. This is my prayer to Allah for you. Dear students, today I would like to discuss your first paper textbook, Unit 8, Lesson 1, Environment and Nature. This theme is written by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Samuel Taylor Coleridge was an English poet, literary critic, philosopher, and theologian who, with his friend William Wordsworth, was a founder of the Romantic movement in England and a member of the Lake Poets. He also shared volumes and collaborated with Charles Lamb, Robert Southey, and Charles Lyot. His most famous poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, the collection is considered the first great work of the Romantic school of poetry and contains Coleridge's famous poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Water, water everywhere, and all the birds did not shrink. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. He prayed best, who laughed best, all things, both great and small, for the dear God who loved us, he made and loved all. This is his famous quotation. The title of this unit, Environment and Nature. First, if we try to understand environment. What is environment? Environment means the complex of physical, chemical, and biotic factors such as climate, soil, and living things that act upon an organism or an ecological community and ultimately determine its form and survival. And next question, what is nature? Nature means the external world in its entirety. In this story, Samuel Taylor actually has written a famous poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, but in this lesson has been shown prose order this poem. Here, Coleridge has shown very remarkable idea about human life and crisis of human life. Last of all, he has shown for the solution and salvation of life how we can gain. Last of all, he has shown only Almighty Allah can save us. That is why he said we should pray to Allah and we should love all things who has created both great and small, big or small things. By loving all things, we can save our life. In this poem, the poet's important some lines: water, water everywhere, and all the birds did sing. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. Coleridge's poems, a ballad, narrates the harrowing sea voyage of an old mariner who, at one point of his journey, did not have any water to drink because of a curse. Curse or not, we know how important drinking water is in our life. We know we cannot survive without it. In fact, 2/3 of our body is made up of water. Not for nothing is it said that the other name of water is life. Is there a crisis in our time with regard to access to clean drinking water? The United Nations, in a meeting on the eve of the new millennium, identified the drinking water problem as one of the challenges for the future. But do we need to worry about the problem, as ours is a land of rivers and we have plenty of rainfall. Besides, we have a sea in our backyard too. One of the sources of water in our country are rivers. Rivers are everywhere in our life, literature, economy and culture. But are the rivers in good shape? Unfortunately, they are not. A few are already dead and several are going through the pangs of death. The river's Buriganga is an example of a dying river. A report published in the Daily Sun describes what has happened to the river Buriganga and why. Its water is polluted and a perpetual stench fills the air around it. But that is not what it was like before. The report says that the river had a glorious past. Once it was tributary of the mighty Gangas and flowed into the Bay of Bengal through the rivers Dholeshwari. Gradually, it lost its link with the Gangas and got the name Buriganga. The Mughals marveled at 1610 the river supplied drinking water and supported trade and commerce. Jahangirnagar was renamed Dhaka, which grew into a heavily polluted city with a chronic shortage of space. The city paid back the bounty of the river, but by sucking life out of it, according to newspaper report the Buriganga is dying because of the pollution. Huge quantities of toxic chemicals and waste from mills and factories, hospitals and clinics and households and other establishments are dumped into the river every day. The city Dhaka discharges 4,500 tons of solid waste every day, and most of it is directly released into the Buriganga. According to the Department of the Environment, 20,000 tons of tannery waste, including some highly toxic materials, are released into the river every day. Experts identified 9 industrial areas in the around the capital city as a primary source of the river pollution. Tongi, Tezgao, Hazaribagh, Terabu, Narayanganj, Sabar, Gazipur, Dhaka Export Processing Zone and Ghurashal. The river would need a monster's stomach to digest all the waste mentioned above. There is a limit up to which it can be put up with its cruel and thoughtless treatment. We the humans have successfully killed one of our rivers. There are other rivers in the country that are being subjected to similar thoughtless treatment. Unless we take care of our rivers, there may come a time when we will cry water, water and find it nowhere. So we have seen in this hymn crisis of water and crisis of the river. They are all dead. That is why flowing water has stopped and we do not get pure water, and in future is dark position. In this theme, the poet has shown very clearly water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. We know Samuel Taylor Coleridge was a famous romantic poet in English literature. He wrote an imaginative poem titled The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. In the poem, the ancient mariner, or the old mariner of a sailing ship while plying on the South Seas, wantonly killed a heartless seabird albatross. It was believed that albatross was a symbol of good luck. The mariners naturally used to be pleased at the sight of the albatross. But the old mariner whimsically shot the albatross and killed it. His criminal act did not go unpunished. A curse fell upon all the mariners on board of the ship. They fall dead one by one. Only the old mariner was alive. The witness of the death of his co-mariners and could do nothing about it. The wind dropped blowing and the ship remained still on the vast sea. The heat of the sun was unbearable, but when the old mariner realized his sin, he repented and prayed for God's mercy. God granted his prayer and the wind started to flow again and the sun moved forward. Before coming to the port of landing, the old mariner saw some water snakes. He blessed them from his heart and vowed never to harm any living thing. And as he was relieved from the curse, the crime of the old mariner has a similarity with the ways we are treating the river. So, if we do not think properly and if we do not take up proper measure, we will face so many problems for our total life. So, we all, civil society and government should come forward to take proper measure for pure water. This is the theme of this chapter, of this lesson. We should save our life. We should maintain proper duty so that we can live peacefully and happily. For drinking water we need, actually we do not live without water. This is the main theme, dear students. I hope you can understand easily what I have told you. I would like to conclude here now. Thank you all.